Today is National Children's Day, and the Childhood Domestic Violence Association is taking the opportunity to raise awareness of something that takes a terrible toll on 15 million children and 40 million adults in the U.S. Domestic violence is associated with a long list of dire statistics, including increased risk of suicide, drug abuse, and committing crime. Joining us now is Dr. Linda Olson. She specializes in this issue as a clinical psychologist and social worker. She is also an advisory board member for the Childhood Domestic Violence Association. Dr. Olson, thank you so much for joining us today on this very important topic. Can you please explain to our audience how a child can be a victim of domestic violence without ever being physically harmed or being the target of a verbal abuse from a parent or guardian? How can that be?
Well, first, I want to thank you for inviting me to be here. And a child can be a victim by witnessing and experiencing it in the home. Most people believe that a child has no impact if the child is not being hurt, and that's not true.
So just by merely witnessing domestic violence or witnessing verbal abuse between two parents, that is a way that a child can experience domestic violence? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm a clinical psychologist, social worker, mother, and grandmother, and grew up witnessing CDV and also lost two sisters. So I'm really passionate about this topic, and I'm really committed to raising awareness. And you're absolutely right. Most people believe that if a child is not hit, that they didn't experience the trauma, which is absolutely not the case. Think about it. Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, imagine that you're a child growing up witnessing every day your parents fighting, physically or non-physically, and you're growing up with so much fear and being frightened, and to think it doesn't have an impact is ridiculous. And I think the biggest tragedy is that people don't realize the impact of CDV. They don't realize it's a severe trauma. It's a number one predictor of getting into an abusive relationship. And it's critical that we bring awareness to this topic.
Well, and thank you for being so forthcoming about your own experience. And I'm sure that helps you to identify children that are going through the same thing. So how does a child witnessing or experiencing domestic violence result in serious health problems like heart disease, cancer, other chronic illnesses? What's happening inside of a child when they're going through this?
Well, when you're growing up in constant fear and experiencing this in the home every day, it affects the central nervous system, it impacts the learning, it impacts cognitive functioning, mental health, social and relationships. It has a profound impact, and it doesn't end in childhood. It lasts throughout the lifespan. I have patients come to me regularly who are adult children who grew up in these homes. They don't even realize the impact. They don't even realize what happened to them or why they're feeling so sad or depressed or anxious. So the most important thing is that we can educate and create awareness about this trauma. Unlike other traumas, people know if you experience sexual abuse, if you were physically beaten up, they know and expect there's not going to be a good outcome. However, with CDV, that's the biggest issue. They assume because you weren't hit, you didn't experience this trauma.
Yeah, it would be hard to tell if you didn't experience it personally. Dr. Linda Olson, that's all the time we have for today, but thank you so much for joining us and bringing awareness to this important topic.